Governor Snyder signing legislation late last year allowing companies to test those self-driving cars here in Michigan, one of the only states in the country. In this week's Know the Law segment, Tom Sinas here to talk about what that means for regular drivers out there.
So this is a major change in our law, and it's happening around the country. And I think the desire to pass this bill was to allow Michigan to become one of the premier states for the development of self-driving cars.
They don't want to lose the automotive industry, and that's where everybody says it's going, self-driving cars.
That's right, and this is really big for all of us because, you know, we're told, and it would make sense that if this technology works out the way it's supposed to work, then there's going to be a lot less people who are killed and injured, and so that's a great thing. So what happened last year was that the legislature passed and the governor signed a bill that now for the first time gave the ability for automated cars to operate and be tested on Michigan roads. Before, there wasn't really a provision allowing this to happen.
They could do before, but you had to have somebody sitting in the driver's seat that could grab the wheel if something unforeseen happened.
That's right, and that's a good point. The distinction here, you don't have to have a driver, you don't have to have a gas pedal, you can have just essentially a robot vehicle.
A box driving people around.
That's right, and so now we're in the testing phase, of course, in this. These are not publicly for sale, but everybody is starting to wonder, okay, well, what is this going to mean? What ripple effects is it going to have in other areas of law? How is law going to keep up with this technology? If the technology is going to save lives, then that's a great thing. But what are we going to do for those issues that the technology can't prevent, and how is it going to interact with our existing legal system?
A lot of questions coming up.
So here's a couple real strange ones. Well, who owns these cars, right? If they're owned by, are they owned by the manufacturer? Are they owned by the person who buys them? Who operates them? That's an even bigger question. Who operates them? Well, if you're not driving it, I'm not driving it, a computer's driving it. Under Michigan's current law, the owner and the operator of a vehicle is responsible if there's an accident. Well, what if something happens involving a driverless car? Who is the operator of that vehicle? Too early to say. What may end up happening here is that accidents involving driverless cars become product liability cases. Product liability cases are cases where there's an argument that there was something defective in the design of the product. In this case, the product would be the computer technology that operates this car.
Kind of like what Tesla went through when they had a crash where one of them hit a white semi-truck and the computer didn't recognize the color white because it was the side of a truck and it smashed into it. So they went after Tesla.
That's right, but those are very, very hard cases, right? That's a much different case than proving that somebody ran a stop sign. Now you have to prove through computer experts that there was some defect in the software that prevented it from seeing the semi-truck, for example. How are you going to do that? Not a cheap undertaking to prove.
So you're saying that the state legislature passed this to allow it to happen, but they didn't really think out all the issues that are going to happen street level.
That's a very good way to summarize it. And I think we're going to have to catch up with those street level issues down the road because there will still be accidents, there will still be insurance issues, and we're going to have to figure out how to solve them without turning every automobile accident into a giant investigation of software computer code, because that doesn't work, right? And then what do we do about our no-fault insurance? Well, right now the rule is that if you have a no-fault insurance policy issued to you and you're injured in a car accident, you turn to that insurer. Well, what if you don't own a car because you're just hopping in driverless Ubers?
It's a driverless Uber.
And that's all you've got.
Which still hasn't been settled as far as liability, and a lot of questions about that.
Exactly. So where are you going to draw your no-fault benefits from? A lot of unanswered questions there, and we are going to be doing, as you say, a lot of catching up in the years to come.
If somebody wants to talk about a case that they may have or some liability issue, you guys have the offices all over the state, really.
That's right. We have 2 offices in Michigan and 1 in Chicago. You can call us in Grand Rapids at 616-301-3333. Find us online at www.sinasdramis.com or shoot us an email at info@sinasdramis.com.
Interesting subject, Tom. Thanks for stopping by.
We'll talk it about again. Thanks, Christian.